Going to call to order the Finance Committee meeting for July the 1st, 2019. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of June 17, 2019.
After reviewing the minutes, are there any corrections or additions to our minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments June 8, 2019 through June 21, 2019.
Do we have a report from the Purchasing Committee?
Yes, we did meet this evening, and we appreciate the help of staff as always, and we do recommend approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 2 passed. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval of lowest and best bids for chemicals used for water treatment as follows. 1, chlorine at .425 per pound to Brentag Southwest. Fluorosilicic acid at .17 per pound to Solvay America. Polyphosphate at .342 per pound to Hawkins Incorporated. Sodium chloride at .4828 per pound to Evoqua Water Technologies. Ferric chloride at .1278 per pound to WaterTech, and caustic soda at .155 per pound to Brannard Chemical Company, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee. These are our yearly chemicals for water treatment. Stephen Morton's here, the superintendent of the water plant. I'm going to let him explain to you what he's putting in the water. So.
Wow, thanks for putting me out there. No, it's just our yearly bid for our water treatment chemicals. There has been like a overall 5% increase across the board for all of the chemicals, but there are potential savings throughout the year depending on dosage of the chemicals and how much water we're actually treating throughout the year. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Move for approval. I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve this item.
Stephen, I
Discussion.
appreciate what you put in the water and what you don't put in the water.
Well, thank
and
you.
I appreciate really the monitoring that you consistently provide in the city, the quality of water that you provide to our community, especially during the catastrophe that we had, and yet we were able to provide quality water to our citizens of Muskogee. Thank you very much for what you do.
Well, we appreciate that, but we couldn't do it without a supporting staff, and we had a great supporting staff. So I thank you guys as well.
Thank you.
I'd like to commend the city clerk for pronouncing those chemical names so well.
Absolutely.
All right, roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 3 passes, and with that, that is the final item on our Finance Committee.
We will now go ahead and call the Public Works Committee meeting for July the 1st to order. Item number 1.
Consider approval of Public Works Committee minutes of June 17, 2019.
We've all had time to review. Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Cale.
Yes.
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. Item number 2.
Consider the appointment of Amy Love to the Roxy Theater Community Trust Board to fill the unexpired term of Jennifer Crotty beginning July 8, 2019 and ending on July 31, 2021, or take other necessary action.
This is my appointment, everybody knows Amy Love and her commitment to the arts in Muskogee. Ms. Crotty was not able to attend a number of the meetings, so when I reached out, Mr. Fricks recommended Amy Love, and I do think she would do an outstanding job, so that is my recommendation.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any comments or questions regarding that nomination? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes?
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 2 passes. Item number 3.
Consider the appointment of Jack Bohires to the Board of Adjustment to serve a 3-year term beginning July 1, 2019, and ending on June 30, 2022, or take other necessary action.
Counselor Stout.
Yes. But I sat over on the War Memorial Park board with Bo, and he reached out wanted to get more involved, and so I let him know that I had this appointment, and I think he'll be a great fit for that.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions concerning that nomination? Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Wayne Johnson.
Yes.
Evelyn Hibbs.
Yes.
Patrick Kale.
Yes?
Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Derek Reed.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Mayor Janie Boydston.
Yes.
Item number 3 passes. Item number 4.
Receive presentation on the upcoming street projects for the southwest zone or take other necessary action.
Mr. Riley.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and committee. These are all projects that were approved earlier in the year, and just because they're about to start construction, I wanted to give you guys an update so that when you see the contractors out working and in these locations, you'll know what's going on. That doesn't show up very well. But you can see this mill and overlay, as we talked before, this is where we're going to mill off 2 inches of asphalt and replace it with 2 inches of new asphalt. This will be our worst condition streets in this area. This is the southwest zone. And you can see this is our line on the bottom. Oops, I went the wrong one. It's our line to the south up to Muskogee. A lot of streets in that area, south 30th, 28th, 23rd, and Garland, Columbus, Boston, and Elgin. And then we got one street, this is 6th Street, over just north of Southside Boulevard. And then around Estelle Avenue, Elizabeth and William, and then South 30th Street. This contract is let. The start date was June 1st. H&G contractors, they've claimed delays due to the flooding and the weather. We're working to get them out on the job and get this going. So we'll keep you updated on that. Microseal, which is microsurfacing, which is what we did downtown recently, which is a very thin layer of polymer that comes out really nice. We've had really good results with it. These streets, as you can see, work through a big swath of this area. We're picking up quite a few streets, a lot of miles, because this is a less expensive way to keep the streets in better shape. And it goes over, our line continues across and up into a few streets up in the hat box. And then there's a section south off of 32nd, Ramona and Coburn Circle area. And that's the streets. On the microsurfacing, we have already started our crews. We go in and get the surface ready, and then they'll come in and seal the cracks. And that's scheduled to start Monday on the 8th. So the contractor should be here, crack sealing starting Monday, and get the micro seal in and going. So that'll be it's a quicker process because it goes down pretty quick, and the contractors there usually get in and out pretty quick. So because they've got projects all over they got to get to. Any questions?
From my last understanding, we did tighten up our specs a little bit from our mill and overlay.
Yes, we did. Yes, we put that we get a minimum of 2 inches on the asphalt overlay.
And it's mainly making sure where we're butting up against an existing curve.
Yeah,
and kind of where we had a concern where we were before.
So we've made it clear that everywhere there's a minimum of 2 inches of asphalt needs to come back.
And we'll be having at least a city person inspecting prior
yes,
to the
we're gonna have inspection on
overlay going on.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
To follow up on what Mr. Johnson said, and I know that this project has been bid out, and and there may be limitations. I would strongly encourage our street department, when we start getting some of the monies in from the recent tax that was approved by our citizens, when we go down any new street and we're going to do a mill and overlay or what have you, if we have a section of curb, and we've talked about this, and I'm sharing with the council on what I shared with you. I think I shared it with the manager. A section of curb that's dropped, 20-foot section. I would like every new street that we mill and overlay, if it's got a section like that, I'd like to spend the money to fix that curb and gutter so that that street is as brand new as it gets. And at the end of the year or 6 years, if we end up not being able to do a street or two, but all the rest of the streets were done professional and they look brand new, you know, it's just a little bit of extra work. But I'd sure like us to have the attitude when we're improving some of these older streets that where it's pragmatic, I don't want to be ridiculous, but if the rest of the curb is in good shape and what have you, and we need to replace a couple of sections just to make that street look pristine when the project's finished, I'd sure encourage us to look at things that way. In my mind, it's a difference from, you know, halfway doing it right to doing it right all the way. And I know that may not really be associated with the project per se, but it in my mind it is. I'd just like us going forward, and if we have to bid it out and say, oh yeah, you guys have got to rip out 40 feet of curb and gutter and redo it, I'd sure like that to be a part of our process, because I think we'll have some really good looking updated streets here, and it's the little small things that could be the difference between a fine residential street and one that, you know, I just like to make sure that's on the forefront of our minds going forward. There may not be room in this bid to do that, but if we have any monies at all, I'd encourage us to try to start that mind thought.
And the new program, as we set it up with the 100 miles that we talked about, that included money to do curb repairs. So it's not 100%, but to do curb repairs as we go through.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
I think that's a really good point, Councilor Kale, and you know, and this is pre that funding coming in, but it really gets us into that new mindset of, you know, because really with our street funding the way it was survival. And getting as much as we possibly could, and now it really is where we want to try to do as much as we can right and look at a long-term program of getting our streets upgraded. So really a great thing, and it's kind of like with our specs, tightening them up and learning from the past. So great. Any other comments? Yes.
If I may, thank you for pointing out that this is part of our existing program. Our new street tax doesn't go into effect till later this year. And so we're following our existing process, going section by section. Southeast zone is our next section of town, and we're working on figuring out which streets those will be. And the street committee has already had some discussions, and they're working on the implementation plan for the CIP and what that will look like over the next few years as we do have that additional tax. So those things are going on. The committee you guys have appointed to make that happen is working hard on it with staff. So we're excited about that, but we want to make sure people know we're still plugging away. We're still doing what we can do this summer, and we've got other projects identified. So we're going to keep moving. Thank you, guys.
Street committees have to work a little bit harder now.
Yeah, they got more work to do.
Is there something that we can do also about, you know, maybe signage when we get to the new funding of, you know, your tax dollars at work?
That's a really good idea. I think that we look forward to being able to do that. Make sure people see that their tax dollars being spent on those streets.
Okay. The other thing, how will we be notifying people about this work going on in the area through public information?
The contractors have responsibility to do door hangers and make contact, especially with the microsurface, because some of that, you know, the cars have to be off the street. They've got to get in and say, you know, you can't park here today, and they got to move forward every day so that people are are aware, so we don't end up having to tow cars out of the way.
So that's all in the specifications for the contractor's responsibility.
Yes, and we'll put out public press release, public information, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff also. Yeah.
Excellent information.
And on those notifications, the residents, those are before the work starts. In other words, they're not going to go Monday and say tomorrow we're going to be on the street.
No, we'll
Okay.
try to do a week in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. This that we're doing in the southwest quadrant, do we have any idea how long that will take?
The mill and overlay project is a 90-day project, and then I think the micro seal is about a 60-day, and it won't take that long.
Do they do those both at the same time, or is that?
Well, it's two different contractors, but some of them will be working at the same time. Yes.
I see. Okay, I just was curious. Okay, thank you.
But I would like to add, as we're working right now on the first zone for the new money, and it'll be a lot more streets to look at when the maps go up. It's pretty impressive. So from where we've been to where we're going, it's a big deal. So.
It's a good problem to have.
Yes. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Riley, I noticed that now, is the city doing this, like these repairs? There's been some street repairs on 7th Street, and in that area, I've been driving around in areas and where they're out patching holes. Matter of fact,
Yeah. The city, we're getting the microsurface streets ready for the microsurface. We patch all the big holes and everything, so that when they come in, they crack seal and do the microsurface. They're not doing the major patching. We are.
Okay. Also, one of the big problems is, I wonder also, like Patrick, Councilman Kill was saying, one thing I worry about is when we going down these streets, and say, for instance, we got some bad water lines. We don't want to have to do like we did downtown. Had to go back and bust this street out. Nice street we just put down because of bad water lines. Is it somewhere we are monitoring that?
Well, that's a money deal. Whereas, I mean, we have water lines everywhere. To go in and replace them before we do each street would be more cost than the street itself in a lot of cases. Yeah.
But what we have done, and Mr. Riley, correct me if I'm wrong, the ones that we know are leaking already,
Yes.
we that are in that area, we've gone in and try and fix those leaks ahead of time, because as you know, we've got a backlog on leaks. We're trying to attack those, and we prioritized getting those done in this area before we go back through.
And it's also my understanding that through our water initiative, we're going to be putting in new water lines or replacing water lines or what have you. So this is a stupid statement, but I'm sure that we know what streets we're going to be putting some major lines in or doing work on. So we're going to say, let's put off refurbing that street until we finish this project.
There's some of that as well. Yes. Yes.
Yes, we've coordinated that, and there'll be a contract coming to you soon for some of the water line replacements, and it'll have the maps on those.
So we'll do the best we can.
Absolutely. You know, and there's always going to be our best laid plans are great until our 100-year-old water line underneath it fails. And as Mr. Riley said, we got more 100-year-old water line than we have money to replace them. So we're trying to do those as best we can.
I know one of the main problems is in Ward 3, in the southwest quadrant, is right there on Elgin and 6th, which me, and you and Councilman Reed, we went over and drove the area of what they're doing last week. And, where it floods right there. Now, how are we going to fix that problem?
That's part of our mill and overlay project, and that's part of getting that grading. Instead of it being such a harsh grade, they're going to try and narrow that and work on the storm drains, I believe. But Mr. Riley,
the storm drains to some extent, but there's a bigger issue with the piping that goes further out. I mean, to completely eliminate the flooding problem, but we're going to make it better. So.
Same thing on West Southside Boulevard?
Yes.
That's like I said, those are two areas I know that we have the most problems. Another thing I like to say is, on this project, I just hope that we watch these contractors. As you say, it's two of them, right? What's the two?
Vance Brothers is doing the microsurface, and H&G is doing the mill and overlay.
Okay, but I just hope we watch these contractors, because I know one of the contractors we've had problems before in the past with, and not doing the work and not being on time. But like I say, I know that you, Mr. Riley, and Mr. Wilson, y'all will be out there looking at it. Y'all know a lot more than we do about it. But we just don't, I'll say this, we just don't want no half-done work. We got to pay out. We want it right.
Yeah.
We don't want it half-done. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know how Councilman Reed feels, but that's just how I feel about, when you come to Southwest Quadrant, we want it done right. We don't want your crumbs, we want the steak. I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
I might add to that I have all the confidence in the world in Mr. Riley and his team. I have all the confidence in the world that they're gonna see to it. It's a good job.
And we want it done right all over Muskogee. Okay. We've had good discussion, and we do appreciate the clarifications on all those items, and it's really good, good stuff going on. We're seeing street improvements across our community. Do I have a motion?
Move for approval.
I don't believe there's
This is-
action necessary.
just a report?
Just receiving a report
Okay.
today.
No action.
All right, that will conclude all the items on the agenda. We do have recognition of citizens wishing to speak on this committee. Mayor Boydston.
Yes, I wanted to talk about something pleasant that doesn't cost anything, so we can end this meeting on a pleasant note. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at St. Paul United Methodist Church out at 23rd and West Muskogee is the free patriotic concert. It's an annual thing that our choir there plus other people in the community come and sing, and the audience gets to sing some of the patriotic songs that we know and wave the flag, and they have a little reception afterwards with refreshments, and it's just an all-around good party that makes you feel good, and everyone is invited, and I will look for you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Boydston. That will conclude our Public Works Committee meeting. Thank you.